This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Today we're talking about personal projects, something that I am actually today is day one officially of a new project. I'm talking to my buddy Michael here on the phone and we're getting each other amped up about this new project. Personal projects for me are a way, I guess maybe to define them, it's essentially a project that no one is commissioning you to go out and create, that is something that you want to do, that you, thinking of myself, I'm always creating for myself as an audience. So I want to create something that if I was out there, I was on the internet and I was looking through and I organically saw this video, that it would be something that I would want to watch. That said, I don't know if this is maybe the unpopular opinion on personal projects, but I have found it very helpful for me. I always do them in a space that is interesting, that I do want to create the project 100%, but I also want to do it in a smart way where other people could be involved as far as sponsorships go. What a sponsorship is going to do, it's going to unlock a little bit more opportunity, either in terms of just unique experiences that I can now have access to, or in terms of budget to just allow us to do the project a little bit better, or to hire somebody to do audio design or whatever it might be. Doing a project in a space that you know that somebody might have some dollars to be able to throw at that, I think is a reasonable thing, especially if you're coming at this from the perspective of a professional, that you want to be doing this either right now that you already are, or you want to be doing it in the future as a job. I'm going to speak maybe in this video specifically to my progression as a video creator. As a photographer, I feel like I began when I was like 14, 15, and it was a very slow linear progression. I feel like with video, there were a few very specific moments that I did in terms of personal projects that really made my video career come together. So I guess to go back 6 years ago, I guess, and the first project that I actually did was a personal project about local startups in the area here. I did this with my wife, Lindsay, and that project was called Startup Community. And for me, it was kind of a two-tiered approach. That one, I didn't know how to make a proper professional video at all. I wanted to, like, rather than going to film school and learning there, I was like, I'll just figure it out. I know photography, so I know how to light an interview. I did not know how to do sound. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to do color. I didn't know how to really do anything, but I did know how to make it look good, at least from a visual standpoint. So that's where I began with that. I realized that locally there were a lot of startups doing really cool things, and I just thought that it would be fun to be invited into that world a little bit. I very quickly realized that world, one, there's a lot of money to be made, so there's a lot of people wanting to sponsor, as well as governments and local organizations that are happy to help fund and help introduce you to people. The thing that I found that was the coolest was that when you come at a project from a passion perspective, that so many people are just willing to talk to you about it and introduce you to the people that you need to talk to and to get them in front of your camera, rather than if you're coming at it from, say, the university was like, we want you to do this film about startups in our local area. Approaching people from that standpoint, it's not going to be the same as you actually being interested and wanting to learn on your own, if it is kind of something that's being 100% funded by somebody else. So with that project, we really did learn that if we created something that we would want to watch, that there's a pretty good chance that there are a number of other people that would also want to watch that as well. And then also doing it from a perspective of pushing my skills as a person that really wasn't good at video, to just be kind of that sink or swim environment, like get out, do it. I knew that you can learn on YouTube enough of what you would ever need to know, but it's all about the practice and actually just getting out there and doing it. So that was number one. That was kind of the first key piece, I would say, to my video career starting to come together. And with that personal project, opened up a number of opportunities to do commercial video production. I now had a portfolio to show to people, to get booked for jobs in the startup space. And that could have been another company on its own if I would have really been passionate about taking it in that direction. So the personal project is a bit of kind of a lead up to getting into that industry and to getting the connections and to building the portfolio. Number two is actually something that's a little bit more recent, I guess. 2016, I guess maybe end of 2015, I started recording a series called A Photographer In. It was a travel show. I had my Nikon D5500, went out there into the world and just filmed myself just doing things, and I was not good in front of the camera, and it was a struggle. It's still a struggle, but it was an exceptional struggle back then, and I really just was not at all comfortable in front of the camera. That was my sink or swim, to just be like, you need to do this. This is the thing that you need to do. If you want to be unlocking unique and interesting opportunities, unfortunately, you are the one that's going to have to be in front of the camera. That if you're relying on somebody else, that everything is just going to move a little bit slower than you would want it to if you're in control of everything. So by going out filming A Photographer In, we did season season 1, I think I did Iceland, Chernobyl, Israel, Palestine, and there's one other spot, I think Amsterdam, all on the first trip. And I was at each of those for essentially kind of like one day. So the goal in each of those places, it was in between trips. So I'd be somewhere for a photography trip and I would take a layover, I'd get off the plane, I'd stay the night, and I'd try to film something, maybe a 5, 6, 7 minute episode of what I wanted to be eventually paid to create. So this personal project at the time, it was definitely something that I knew that I wanted to do. And I definitely early on saw the opportunities in regards to just being able to reach out to new companies and businesses now. There's a link in the description below if you're interested in the templates and everything that I use to reach out to companies. But essentially what I was doing was I knew that I was bringing value to them, that this was around the time that the word influencer was becoming a word or a common thing that people kind of understood. And I never came at it from like, I'm not an influencer, I'm just a content creator. So when I show up to your hotel, when I show up to your resort, or we go on safari with you, we're actually going to give you hard deliverables in terms of videos and in terms of photography. So it was a heck of a lot easier for us to open up these opportunities and to be able to get out there into the world and do the things that we wanted to do, but doing them in a way that we knew that would make the cost a little bit easier to get to, or to even get the invite at all. And on the other side of that, sometimes the invitations will start to find you when you're out there creating this style of content. So this personal project, this series, as you know, eventually became the Nikon show that we're doing with Nikon ongoing now. So that was basically the only reason that I had anything to kind of show them, to be like, this is what we would like to continue. This is what we would like to do with your cameras. This is the platform that we can basically essentially plug you into, that we already kind of know what we're doing. And to add you to it is a very easy, natural progression. Again, the mindset has always been just create content that you want to exist. I'm kind of the way we think about it, and the way that I think about success in general, I think, is that I just want to be able to do cool stuff with my friends and create that for friends that we just haven't met yet. And now moving into this current project, this current personal project that we're working on, essentially it's kind of based on the opportunities as well as the limitations of this year, that it's a little challenging that we can't go out and do another season for the Nikon show because we can't, well, we can technically travel places, but we probably shouldn't. It's not a thing that I don't think I should be doing yet. So we kind of shied away from that. We're going to stay local to Canada this year. And what is local in Canada in the winter? Skiing and snowboarding. I got into the industry through skiing and snowboarding and also music way back when I was 14, 15. So for me, it's cool to revisit what got me into the industry, and I'm very excited for that. Also, from a documentary standpoint, we have no idea what we're doing right now because the industry is so much different. I don't know anyone that skis or snowboards professionally anymore, so we are starting at absolute zero. We have to make the connections, we have to get all the footage that we need to make some sort of film. And then with that, the other fun thing for me, I guess, is that I get to now reach out to all these brands and all these companies that are outside of the realm that I would usually speak to. So for instance, now, like, I can send Red Bull an email and be like, hey, here's what we're doing. If you'd like to be involved, here's what we can do, and maybe start to strike a deal there. Or I can reach out to Burton, or I can reach out to LibTech, or all these other companies that would never have been possible even like last week, I can now reach out to and have a conversation with, because we're doing something that is relevant to their industry. And it's really, really exciting. I think it's personally, that section of the planning is almost as fun as actually creating the content for me. So I like both aspects of that. So my personal projects always will have that business element baked in, because I do really find it a lot of fun just to be able to do that and see who responds and see what kind of deals you can put together based on, like, last week, this was nothing. Now it's an idea. Now we have a little bit of test footage. Now all of a sudden we're going to have somebody else involved. Maybe GoPro. I don't know where this could go. We'll see over the next couple of months where that project goes. But if there has been a personal project that's been on your back burner that you've been thinking about doing for a little while, 100% get out there and just start doing it right now. It is the key to being in control of your business and directing your business where you want it to go. If you sit back, you wait for those jobs to come in, your business is going to end up in a very different place. It might be a profitable place, but life happiness, life fun might not be as high as if you just created all of your own content that you eventually wanted to get paid for and you went out there and just started doing it. Get out there today, or start sending the emails that you need to get started on your own personal project and be in complete control of your portfolio moving forward. And that is all I have to say. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creatives. There are a lot of classes in the photography and video space that I probably could have used rather than just going out and trying to figure it out on my own. And there are always new courses being added. For instance, Mango Street just put up, if you follow them, you should follow them on YouTube. They just put up a course on Skillshare about product photography and doing product photography in a very easy and also organic way using materials that you already have around your house. Another thing that I love Skillshare for is that while they will have the photography and the video classes that you would want, they also have things on the peripheries of what you have to do as a professional in the creative space. So as far as marketing goes or graphic design, that there is something for every piece of the business that you haven't even discovered yet. So head over to the link in the description below. First 1,000 people get a free trial for premium. That's all I have to say today. Go out, build your personal project and create the business of your dreams. That sounded like a really cheesy sales pitch, but that's kind of how you do it. You just start making the thing that you want to get paid to create someday and do it in a smart way, and eventually people will start paying you to build your dream jobs. That's all. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Taylor Jackson. See you again next time.